Well, it is a true pleasure to be here tonight to talk about Mr. Swoboda, who I met a number of years ago and had admired for much longer than that. So we are here tonight to talk about Edward Roy Swoboda, and I put together some photos that will help you get acquainted with Ed. This is one of the earlier photos that Ed on the Noah tree in Yosemite about 1930. This is Ed sitting in front of the car there.
Wow.
But as you know, Ed is it's important to know because this is a slice of There's a notable characters on there. Leonardo is roughly there. I did not count. For the scientists in the room, I did not count out the tree rings exactly. This is an approximation. Benjamin Franklin, I think that's me. And of course, at the latter part of the ring, there's So we now have a tree mark of the relevance of Ed Swoboda in major history. The next slide shows Ed at the Benito Gemine. He was very famous for doing the work at the Benito Gemine. And there is Ed with the rifle and the hawk. And it's important to note that that hawk was seen high-grading some of the And there is Ed, look at the cactus, Superior, 1936. Wow.
Oh.
Loading dynamite in this slide in order for Ed to go to Brazil. I think it was around the 1930s. And this is a very famous slide that's been well known. What you don't know, and you probably have not seen before, is the sequel to the slide taken 7 seconds later. Fortunately for the girl community, like the community, Ed survived this blast. Here is Ed with Nate Waxman, where he started up some of his jewelry business and Krujas. About what year was this? Roughly in the 50s? Yeah. And with Anne Bancroft.
Wow.
A movie in the 1953 time frame where some of Ed's jewelry. So it's to note
how
that,
cool.
Ed had a lot of other interests besides the mineral collection. The jewelry was a very, very, very fine business with Ed. One of the most important things is what happened in World War II. In World War II, the United States was at war with Japan and with Germany, and the Axis powers. And the battlefield troops needed ways of communication, and that was through the thing called the walkie-talkie. And what was happening was that the coordination of the oscillations of the communications devices depended on quartz crystals, and one of Ed's great contributions during the war was to search out the quartz crystals that could be sliced into these oscillators to be used, and over 50 million of these devices were made during the war, and they were as important to the winning of the war as indeed was things like the atomic bomb. And indeed, I come from the semiconductor industry for many, many years, and this is really the first instance of starting up the semiconductor industry. And one of the comments made by Gerald Holtman at Harvard University was that it will prove to be a tale of one of the war's greatest achievements. No less significant will be the fruit of these advancements to a new world at peace where crystals will be the vibrating hearts of most telecommunications equipment. And of course, that is still true today. And this is one of the great unknown stories of Ed Swoboda and his contribution to the history at this crucial time. So the other things, this is when Ed started collecting with Wayne Thompson in the San Francisco mine. I was honored to be part there and go down into this wondrous, clean, air-conditioned, jeweled mine, San Francisco. Anyway, that was just one of the collecting trips. just a picture at the Westward Look Show a number of years ago, and of course, Dave Wilbur here in the foreground. And at the American Mineral Treasures Show in 2008, the museum brought in a famous rock, and so there's the American Mineral Treasure Show with the icon. And I'm not the icon, it's the Campbell icon. So if we were to put together Ed's history, there's a history of jewelry making. Very, very, very wonderful jewelry. There's a history during World War II of helping find the quartz crystals that helped win World War II. There is a large number of specimens in the world that were collected by Ed, of major specimens, but specimens that could be provided for all the collections in the museums and the collections, many thousands of specimens that were a result of Ed Swoboda's pioneering collecting activities. There were the great finds of very, very rare minerals, many of these, probably too numerous to name here, but for example, the Yarnievite that Ed collected. And of course, Ed is highly famous for the things such as the icons. And these are the main reasons, the 5 main reasons why we talk about Ed Swoboda and why we are having this evening tonight. So there is Edward Roy Swoboda. Ed, would you come up here for a moment?
Yeah.
Ed. One of the nice things is to be able to introduce Ed to a rather old friend. It's not often that one is able to do this, but I want to introduce you to an old friend, okay?
Yeah, whatever rock that is, that's going to be a great rock.
The logo of the American Mineral Treasures and the showing of all the famous blue caps. This is one of the blue caps that you have not seen previously, and I don't think that Ed has seen it in a good long time. Ed? This is one of the Bill Larson is going to give the next talk. I would like Bill to come up here, because of course Bill and Ed were together when they dug up these wonderful specimens. Like Ed and Bill to hold this wonderful piece together. Surprise.
Surprise.
This will be put over in the game so we can all look at it later on. But it's the first time it's been shown publicly in about 30, 40 years.
Wow.